What is good, everybody? It's Dynamic here, and welcome back to another MLW off-season video. Today, I got a good one for you guys, and as you know, some pretty big news dropped yesterday on the MLW Instagram and Twitter, which is that 3 MLW players have officially retired. So we're just going to get into how that affects the teams, how that affects the leagues, and just talk about it a little bit today. And before we get into it, I just want to say, if you like the videos, please subscribe. I'm at around 170 subs right now, but I'd love to get to 200 before the season starts. So if you guys could do that, if you're not subscribed yet and you like the videos, please subscribe. It helped me out a ton. All right, guys, so we're just going to take this one at a time. The first player to retire was Whalen, who was a 2-time All-Star and a huge part of the Eagles team. It felt like maybe he just wanted that last championship, but he's been in the league for a while, so I think some people could see this coming. Even if it was kind of out of nowhere, I mean, he showed up to almost every game. But what does this mean for the Eagles? Well, Whalen didn't have his best year statistically, but he's a huge leader for the team. And honestly, I don't even think of him as a role player. He really helps that team. He really propels them. It's a good thing your Guidus is stepping up. He can kind of fit into that role where, hey, you got Dallas Allen on the team. But if your Guidus was on a lot of other teams, if Daniel Schultz was on a lot of other teams, they'd be like the other team's best players just because Dallas Allen is so dynamic and stuff like that. That really makes the Eagles such a deep team. What does this mean for the team, though? Well, of course, they're going to need Blade Walker to show up. He only made a couple games this season, and if they can't get him, then they're definitely going to need to draft someone this year. This actually hurts them a lot more than I think most people are going to realize. He was an amazing player, but I still believe that the Eagles will be championship contenders. They just have too much depth, too much of a culture there. Then, of course, the 2 other players to retire was Baronoski and Chris Baronoski, who were both pitchers. Brendan, 2-time All-Star as well. I don't think he's as big of a loss to the Cobras as Whalen is to the Eagles, just because I think he was on his way out already, and he had a down year where we kind of saw Caden Irwin stepping in and being their ace. So, in my opinion, is it a big loss? Probably not. It's still going to hurt the team. You got Drew Davis, you got Andy Durand, you got Justin Esch. How can you go out and you go and find somebody to fill that gap? Maybe Drew Davis comes in and pitches. Maybe Zerleg has to step it up a bit on the plate because sometimes they would throw Baronoski on there on the plate. So you'd like to go out, get some more depth. I don't think Chris Baronoski, obviously he was a young player. I didn't really get to see enough of him to make a judgment call on this. He seemed like a good teammate. I kind of like what he did when he was out there. I think he was more deserving of playing time. It's just this Cobras team was pretty deep. Couldn't really find him a huge role. Now, what does this retirement really mean for them? Well, I think Baronoski hasn't really been in the league long enough to warrant a retire. Maybe he was moving out of the area. I'm not too sure about this. I probably needed to do a little bit more research on that because I'm not sure why Baronoski retired. I just wanted to get this video out quick and talk about really what it meant for the teams. So what does this mean for the league? I think a lot of newer fans kind of see this and, it makes them sad. These are players that, you like to see. You watch them almost every week during the season. But players retiring in MLW isn't really a new thing. It's just that it's so official that makes it kind of new. A lot of times players are like, I don't know what it's going to look like next season. A lot of times players don't say anything and they just slowly see themselves out. But them doing it officially, in my opinion, is a better thing for the league. It makes it less complicated because if one of those players just stopped showing up and there was no sort of conversation or announcements from the league, a lot of people would be commenting, where's Baronoski, where's Whalen at? Well, those guys have seen themselves out. They officially retire. Makes a lot more sense than just kind of wondering if you're going to play or not and randomly showing up. Now, I did like both these players, so it is very sad to see them go. I hope they go on to do amazing things in their life, whatever that is. But I just want to say that both of them had amazing careers. They should be proud of themselves, man. And I know I don't normally get, too sentimental or whatever in these videos. I usually just talk about the facts. But these are 2 guys in the league that did a really good job. So if either of them are watching, which they're probably not, I just want to say congratulations on an amazing career. So yeah, guys, that's really all I have for you today. A bit of a shorter video, just kind of talking very loosely about the situation. But let me know what you guys think of each of the retirements. What should the teams do? Is this big for the teams? Is this small? Talk about it in the comments and make sure to subscribe. Love y'all. Peace.